Hey
I am
James,
here
how are you doing, brother? Long
in the
time no see.
daylight. Yes, you woke me up on my coffin.
I
I
know,
said,
I
this
was
is
going to
him.
say
I
you.
do it. Yeah, it's okay. I'm inside. Everything is dark, as you can see.
Anyway, James, thanks for that. So we're talking to James Rivera, Hellstar, Metal Gods, Power Metal Gods in my book. Love you guys, as you know. So welcome
You
to
always
Friday
have.
13th again, brother. So the last time we did an interview was for Kings of Hell. That was some
God, that
time
was a
ago.
long time ago.
God, yeah.
We're talking like when the
2008.
Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor.
Edit that bit.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That was a long time ago.
God,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, we have met, like I said, we met at Headbangers Open Air 2 years ago. So but that album's fantastic, mate. So I'm going to ask you some warm up questions first,
yeah.
like everybody else does. I'm going to ask you how successful was the Glory of Chaos and also the Wicked Nest? This Wicked Nest.
It was a mixed feeling about, especially Glory of Chaos, because it was very, very thrashy, very heavy compared to what a typical Hellstar fan would want to listen to. Um, but it was the album that brought us to the UK for the first time.
I was there. Do you
So
remember?
yeah, so it had its, it had its, it was a double-edged sword. I think though what it did symbolize is that Hellstar has evolved. They're not going to be Burning Star over and over and over and over again. Although we know that Burning Star is well loved all over Europe, but we're not 20 years old anymore.
No.
So we don't think the same. We don't write the same. And we've evolved listening to different styles of music. I'm a black metal fan, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
I know
Danny
you are. You
Filth
do
is
all
one of
these
my
black metal
fucking heroes,
screams.
Yeah. And so, sure, I still love Rob, Dio, Dickinson, Klaus, Phil Mogg with a passion. But I also like Danny Filth, And so it's kind of like, oh, that's like a very extreme taste of music. I go, no, it's not. It's just that I'm not 20 years old anymore. And so, yeah, I guess Gloria Chaos had a lot of haters, but then it won us a lot of fans here in the US because it was heavy, dark. Wicked Nest, we went back to more a little bit traditional stuff, but it's still pretty brutal. Um, then Vampiro was, well, it was basically should have been called Nosferatu 2,
Yeah,
which was
why?
I have a guy that drew a little cartoon and it's the vampire and it's called Nosferatu 2. Yeah. That would have been lame. So we called it Vampiro. And the whole album is a vampire concept, which is
Yeah.
something we never done. And that's when I adopted my new name, James Vampiro Rivera. Yeah, and
You
now
still
I'm a
got the teeth.
vampire.
You still got
Yeah, my
the.
teeth, they're at the dentist right now getting cleaned because I did a lot of feeding last night. Yeah, I was
Okay.
very hungry.
Kentucky
So,
Fried Vampire. Kentucky
yeah,
Fried Vampire.
he has to get rid of the evidence. Yeah, yeah, look at those bite marks on his neck. They come to my door and knock and they go, yeah, we need a DNA test. I go, you're very welcome. Come. They're like, no, it doesn't match his teeth. Yeah.
I mean, the last album, The Vampiros, released through EMP, which is kind of combat. Dave
Yeah.
Elson. What happened with that? Because Dave Elson, I mean,
The label folded.
yeah,
He had a good vision of it. I think we're probably the only band that got a lot of recognition on that label because of who we were. But the guy that was running the label was not a fan of our music. He's a Corn fan, so
oh really? Oh
figure that
wow.
out. Yeah. And to me, I don't really listen to all that modern metal. I just think that, they did it. They tried to do the best they could, but really at the end of the day, I think Vampiro should have stayed on AFM and it would have got a lot more attention. And I
Yeah.
think the band would have really escalated.
Yeah. I mean, you've only, like you say, you've only, is it only the one time you played England? Have you played England before?
Yeah, that was it. That was it on the Glory of Chaos.
So why is
I
it
remember
Young?
we went through all that chaos with the immigration. We had to
Yeah.
go back, and then take the ferry, and it was a mess.
And then
It's funny how
the
that.
arsehole broke into the van as well. So, would you are you going to come back to the UK? Is there any plans to come back to the UK?
This tour doesn't include the UK, and I'm kind of disappointed. I think London would love to see Hellstar again,
Yeah.
for sure. And that would bring people from Birmingham, just the melting pot. And the one Hellstar show in the UK. Call it a day. You know, there you go. I'm writing a song again. Hellstar in the UK. Call it a day.
I mean,
That's the
since
chorus.
I
See,
mean,
you and I wrote a song together. I got to give you publishing credits.
thank you, brother. I mean, since the last record, you released that EP compilation, didn't you? The Clad in
Oh, Glad
Black.
in Black.
It
Yeah,
was the
we did
first release from
three new
Massacre.
songs, and then we did some covers. You
Yeah,
know, we just needed to kind of fill the gap and put something out so that people knew the band was still alive. Because we hear that a lot. Like, are they even around anymore? Like, yes, we are. You know, we're just being a little quiet right now, but give us time. And that's what took 9 years for the Devil's Masquerade to come out.
I mean,
Nine years for a
it's,
full length record.
it's insane, but do you think it's been worth the wait? You say 9 years. Do you think it was?
Obviously, you love the record.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I played it. I've got it on my phone, so when I go to the gym, I'm kind of working out to it, trying to get going, brother. But I mean, like Massacre Records. That's when you signed with Massacre Records.
Yeah.
Was there no pressure from the label to release this new one?
No. And the reason why it's even delayed longer. So the album was turned into them 2 years ago. But Massacre was going through some political stuff. They didn't even know if they were going to exist anymore. You know, Thomas was going through a lot of stuff. But the strong bands that he did not want to let go of because he believes in them, and he's a real metal fan. Just please stick by my side on this. I'm going to work it out. He goes, but if I don't work it out, then you're free to go. And we already knew that Nuclear Blast wanted to sign us. But I said, you know what? You've been good to us. We'll wait by your side. And the Rods, another one. You know, they didn't know. Man, I'm ready to just sell, jump off this ship and go. And I go, you know what? I think he's trying. He's an honest man. And you know what? The one good thing about Thomas, you can actually get on the phone with him. And he will call you, and you have a 30-minute conversation with the man. See, when you're just dealing with email, you don't know what that person's really doing. This guy, hey, James, Thomas, good morning. Hey, yeah, I know for me it's beer time. Anyways, let me fill you on what's going on. You know, he gets on the phone with you, and that made me trust him because a person that doesn't get on the phone with you, nah, you don't really know what's going on in their head.
Yeah,
But he's a very good man. He's very happy. The label's doing great. And look at the explosion that's happening right now.
yeah.
I haven't done this many interviews since 1985.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they're just piling up every day. You know, I'm like, oh, and I have more for you next week. And when are you? Oh, Jesus Christ. What are you doing for Christmas? I don't know. I'm going to cook a duck. Well, I have an interview with you on Christmas Eve. Yeah. You know, no, but the agency is doing very well. Nisi, yeah, they're killing it right now.
Right, because you
So
say
hello to my Italian ladies.
you've also signed with Dragon, haven't you? Agency in Europe.
Yeah, and then that's a great agency to belong to. Bart is doing a great job from Poland, and he knows his metal, you know. So, and when you finally get together with a family that really loves your style of metal, you see the difference. When you have an agency that's like, not into the last school bullshit, but anyways, I guess I got to book them. Then you end up with bad results. Or if the people that work at the label, like, not these guys again. I thought they were dead. You know, yeah, I guess I have to promote them. You know, you have that.
Yeah,
And people don't know that behind closed doors. So when you have a label that loves you and everybody at that label loves you, fuck yeah, the new Hellstar, yeah. Then we're gonna hire these guys to promote them. Oh, my favorite band of all time from America, yeah. Then you have an agent. Oh man, I've been listening to you since I was 5. You know, yeah. And then all the pieces come together.
right. I mean, you
It's
say
the and then you have a guy like you who still looks like he's 19 going to college. Where's your backpack, by the way?
and I'm 54, man. I've been listening to you guys since I was since the Burning Star album came out.
Yeah, and you know what? You look great, Jason. I mean,
Thanks,
off the
man.
record, you do. Yeah, your skin, you look
Well,
young.
Thank you. A lot of people say like 20 years younger than most people do for my age.
Yeah, it's that good beer in England and working out at the gym. There you
Cider,
go. That's
cider.
it. That's all you need. And some fish and chips.
Yep, that's correct. That's correct. So when you mentioned that you're into black metal, have you ever thought of doing a project with Danny Filth? It seems
I wish I could.
have
I
you
mean,
spoke
you
to
know, I
him?
can, yeah, I've heard, I've had another black metal project that approached me and said, would you be interested in, because they said they heard Alma Negra. They're like, that's not James. And Larry's like, oh yeah, it is. That's not James. And like, how the hell does he do that? Like, dude, he's a black metal fan. Like, really? And then I want to do a project like that where everything is completely James Rivera black metal, but with some high notes in there that'll freak people out, you know?
Yeah.
You know, so you imagine me doing a guest vocal thing with Cradle of Filth, and you know, we switch sides. You know, and just throw that in there. He'd probably be like, "This is awesome."
You really should contact him, James. Just say, look.
I want to meet him. I've never had the pleasure to meet the little guy. He's my size. We're short. That's where it all comes from, you know?
Oh wow, interesting to know. So we're going to talk now about the new album,
Yeah,
the Masquerade, Devil's Masquerade. Sorry, just tell me a little
yeah.
bit. Who came up with the title first of all?
Well, we were actually gonna we had came up with a title um a while back, and what we wanted to call the record was "Bring Me the Priest," and then have a album cover with that guy holding a Catholic priest by the neck.
Ooh,
Yeah, right. But then we thought that might cause a little bit too much friction, you know. So we dropped that title, although it was very powerful. Bring me the priest. Think about that, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and him, you know, and his feet are kicking, you know. Yeah, but as we went on, and we had to rewrite a lot of the songs. The Devil's Masquerade, Larry wrote all the lyrics, all the music, and it was the most powerful song, and it's the opener. That's why we chose it as the opener. And so we were going back and forth, and I said, dude, it's very simple. Let's call the album The Devil's Masquerade. And he's like, dude. So when I sent the title to our artist in Germany, he did Vampiro, very great artist, by the way, he came up with that cover. And if you look at it, it's like, wow, this is a party. It's the Devil's Masquerade. So everything fit.
Did you have any
And
other
that's how we came up
titles?
with the title.
Did you have any other artwork? How much artwork did he do for you before you ended up with this
He
one?
did Vampiro, and so we've used him ever since, you know.
So when you got the artwork for this new album, did he present you with other artwork and you were like, okay,
Yes,
maybe this one,
well,
maybe
he
that one?
always does, you know,
Right.
and he is amazing artist, that's for sure. Um, you know, he is just amazing what he does. It's, you know, I mean, look at that. That is beautiful. And
Put my
the
arm, mate. That's
t-shirts are going to be amazing. Yeah, that
man,
is,
I've got the devil biting my neck now. Look, shit. Just in the corner, he's biting my neck.
yeah.
Yeah, I bet the t-shirts are really going to kick ass, especially with all the toe dates on the
Oh
back.
yeah, yeah, of course.
You know, that'd be awesome. So you have different artwork. I mean, and the album title you've chose. I mean, you did the album was produced by Larry, who mixed, and then it was mixed.
Yes.
Yeah. So how long
He
did it take
actually
to?
produced it, he recorded it, and he mixed it.
So how long did it
And he did a
take?
great job.
Yeah, he did. How long did it take, James, to do this album?
Well, you know, I think honestly it took us 2 years, but that's because we had all that time. The label was going through their political stuff, but it took us 2 years. And then we had to rewrite a bunch of stuff because Andrew left the band, and he had like half the record written, and there were great songs. It's just that we didn't feel like we should use them because that stuff can come bite you in the ass later.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, you know, you can keep my songs. That's fine. And then Larry and I talked, and he said, dude, look what happened to Metallica and Dave Mustaine. I don't want that. And I said, well, then we have to write four new songs. He goes, don't worry, I got that covered. And he had stuff in the vault. And then he started sending me stuff. And I said, oh. And I go, so it's back to just Berrigan and Rivera writing the record. And he's like, yes, sir. And that's what took long,
So
is that
why
we had to write a bunch of new songs.
so why did Andy leave?
Just musical differences. Personal differences, just nothing hateful or harmful. We still talk. We're good friends. I love him to death. You know, I wouldn't wish for a train to hit him on a railroad track or nothing. No, and so it's just the way things happened. He can say his side of the story. I can say my side of the story, but it doesn't matter. It was a mutual agreement, and the band is actually better off because we don't have an extra burden on our shoulders, and he was very judgmental. He argued a lot about a lot of stuff, but then I saw his points of view, but to me they didn't make sense. I'm like, well, see, it doesn't work that way for Hellstar. And we even give him control to write the set list. Oh, no, no, the fans want to hear this. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. I think that's what Andrew wants to hear, so not the fans. But no, he was a very helpful person, especially with my singing. He really taught me a lot. And so that's why I thank him, for being there during Vampiro.
Okay, then. So how many auditions did you go through before you found Allan? Did you ever think of getting Rob back in the band?
Oh, we had a bunch of tapes, and it was kind of weird. We even got a demo tape from somebody as far as Denmark. Killer guitar player, played with King Diamond and all that stuff. But
Oh, really? Which one?
yeah, I forget his name. It's been so
Pete
long.
Black?
But, the whole thing is that the way we saw it is that, we don't really want a person that doesn't live in the city. We have to rehearse. So what are we going to do? Fly this guy in to rehearse and blah, blah, blah. Well, Allan, he is the son of a killer guitar player, Ali Deleon Sr., that used to have a band back in the day, Regime, and they used to open up for Hellstar during the Nosferatu days. And he was a shredder from hell. And then he retired, created a family, and got out of music altogether. But then when they got the word that Andrew quit, oh, and they had this other tradition. So this is where Allan Deleon Jr. comes into play. Uh, I don't know why his dad and his son loved me so much that every year on my birthday, Senior would text me, birthday boy, what day are you free? So we can go to Tia Maria's and do the traditional birthday party. They would take me to this famous Mexican restaurant that we all love every year for my birthday. So I saw Junior from that to this to this to that for about 15 years. Well, meanwhile, that kid is already learning everything from Rainbow Horizon and Ingve, everything. Oh, I can do that backwards. And so when they got word that Andrew quit, Senior called Larry and called me right away. Dude, please give Junior the chance. Let him show the world what he's about. And I said, I love Junior. Well, now he's 24 years old. Let me burp him. Give me a baby. But he's not 24 years old up here. He may be 24 years old physically, but up here and here, he's not. So when you hang out with him, you don't see any difference. His jokes are better than ours. Yeah, my balls are itching. Who's going to scratch them for me first? He's just one of us. He's a grown man. And so Larry's concerns were he was like, but he's young and man, how are we going to relate to him? I go, dude, when you get with him, you'll see he's not 24 years old. All right. So he gave him a shot. He said, learn this, learn that, learn that. Come to my house. We'll play together. The next thing you know, Larry starts playing the new songs Junior laid down three solos for the new record, and then they started barbecuing and enjoying more beer. And then next thing he knows, Larry sends a text to the whole band. Oh, by the way, we have our new guitar player.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story,
That's right.
and no, when we're with him, he is just a beautiful person, and he is not 24. He's
That's awesome.
4,000 years old, like me.
I mean,
And
the
Larry
album.
loves him. Yeah, he adores him. He's like, dude. And then his playing is just like, damn. It took us to another level. And
Right.
I agree. And so that's the whole story about Allan DeLeon Jr.
Okay. I mean, the album's going to come out in various colored format vinyl, and then you've got a digibook. What's in the digibook? Bonus songs.
No, it's the same songs, but now they call it Digibook because I think CDs were getting boring. And to be honest, how many cars have a CD player now? They don't. I don't have one. Yeah, so I bought a new car and I was all like, "Oh man, this is nice." And that wait a minute, where where's the CD player? Oh, we don't do that anymore. What? So any car made after 2016 in America doesn't have a CD player.
Right. Okay, then. So,
So people don't really listen to CDs. So the only thing to get them interested in a CD to listen at your home is they made it into a book. So it's a children's story now, which I think is great.
okay. Is this one going to feature the live DVD that I recorded in London that never made the actual physical DVD back in the day?
We don't know. I'm going to present it to Massacre, but I think the video was pretty good. It was actually a really good performance,
Well, I did a pretty
considering
good
all the
job of
hell we
filming
went
that.
through.
I mean, I did a pretty good job filming that, considering it was completely dark in the venue.
Yeah.
I mean, like the songs from the new album, James, which one's your favorite? I mean, there's one song in particular, I Am the Way. It's got so many guest musicians on it.
That's
What,
my favorite song,
why
to
did you
be
have so
honest.
many guests on
It,
this
it's
song?
the it's the anthem of the album. You know
Yeah.
what? And I've always wanted to do an anthem. And I got the idea. What inspired me was when Dio did "We're Stars."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Great
then I've
song.
always been a big Hammerfall fan, and they always have these huge choruses, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, let me take a little bit of Hammerfall. Dio's idea to add a bunch of killer singers. Well, of course, he added guitar players, but just stuck to Texas singers to shine. These are the singers I worship the ground they walk on, because they're great. And there's others. I mean, a lot of them didn't, but you can only make the song so long. And I felt bad because I'm like, oh God, I forgot about him. But you can only make the song so long. We can't make it a 20-minute song. So, but who doesn't know Jason McMaster? Who doesn't know Rob Lowe? Yeah, yeah, and on. Mike Solis, Chris Celine, it just goes on. Like who doesn't? They're known for their art.
I'm going to ask you now, I'm going
And
to mention to you now, James, who is Mike? What bands he sing for?
Militia,
Okay.
and he sings for San Antonio Slayer too on
Oh,
the
yeah, I
side.
know those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you've got Drew Brown.
Drew Brown, he's a local guy. Originally, he's from Kentucky, but you know what? He sings in the best Iron Maiden tribute out of Texas. And his vocals are just so impressive. And his nickname is Canary because he reminds me of a canary, a bird. And he loves that. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why he got it on the record. And Jeff Vandenberg actually sings for a band called Love and War.
Oh,
They
yeah.
did release some stuff national,
I
international.
remember those guys.
Yeah. And he's another great icon from Houston. So we're all like Houston guys. And then Christian Larson, he's the
He's
guy that puts
great.
together Hell's Heroes.
Power of
Yeah, and he
Omens and
sings for
Zero Hour.
Necrofire and yeah, it's just he's just an amazing singer, Night Cobra, and he is an icon in Houston now. So I decided, well, the Houston people will be these guys. San Antonio will include this, Austin will do this, and Dallas will do this with George Call from Aska.
Yeah.
So you see, he's another great singer. And the funny thing about George, when you talk to him, he talks like this. Hey, what's going on? Hey Jason, fuck yeah, I want the new album is doing. And then you wonder how he goes, ah!
Yeah. But the same could be said for Chuck from
It
Death.
sounds like he smokes cigars all day, but he doesn't. He's a healthy guy. Yeah.
So, what are your favorite songs from the album then, James, the new album? And how do you think
Well, definitely We Are the Way is my number one. Devil's Masquerade, and I love Carcass for a King.
why?
It's just so dramatic. It's epic. It's a typical Winds of War, Hellstar style song.
Right. So, how do you compare this album to the previous albums then? I mean, it's typical Hellstar. That's what I love about it. You haven't changed your style. Please don't change your style.
No, no, no. Well, I think what it is that like I said earlier, that me and Larry took the bull by the horns, as we say in Texas. That means from here on out, if we're blessed and we do another record and another, it's going to be traditional Hellstar, but modern and heavy, which is what me and Larry did. So when you have just two people going, it should do this, it should do that. Oh, I think here you should do that. And we trust each other, you're going to end up with a great record.
Yeah.
It's basically, I mean, it's basically Plant and Page,
Yeah.
or it's Harris and Dickinson. You know what I mean? It's Halford and well, it used to be Glenn. Now it's, I don't know who it is, but you have that bond and you think alike. So you already know when I was recording stuff, we listened to it, go, okay, let's listen to the first verse. He'll turn around and go, what do you think? I go, dude, I was thinking on the last line, I should have did this. He goes, was thinking the same thing. Let's do it, So you see, we think a lot alike. We've been married for 45 years.
Yeah.
And no, we're not gay, but yeah, but when you have a bond like that, it's easy to predict each other on what it should sound like.
Yeah. So, what sort of reviews have you been getting? Because I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Dude,
Like I said, it's typical
nothing but
Hellstar.
10 out of 10s and like the best Hellstar record ever
I mean,
that,
I'll
like,
give it three
well,
out
not
of.
the best, but one of the best. Like this record is so strong. Not one review has been like, nah, these old guys need to give it up. Like, whoa, damn, this is mind blowing, and that's a good feeling.
Good. Well, I'm going to give it 2 out of 10 just to be an asshole. I won't do that to you,
Well, you
James.
know what? You could turn it up to 11. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, how many videos are you going to do for this album?
Well,
How
you
many?
know what? We're going to do a video. The label has been, like I said, they've been going through some changes. We wanted a video for this, The Devil's Masquerade, but I said, look, let's just put out the album cover with it and put the single out. But I think that we want to do a video for I Am the Way. And I
Okay.
have footage of all the singers, so we'll just mix that with some vampire shit going on in the back and Satan falling from hell and some cool stuff. And that's what we're gonna do. We'll probably end up doing either Carcass for a King or Seek Out Your Sins, which is a great song. Then Larry said, dude, what about Stygian Miracles? And I'm like, oh, we can get a bunch of cute vampire girls in that video. Oh, yeah. Always thinking with your cock, no,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Or in your teeth,
No.
in your case, your teeth.
Yeah, my teeth. Yeah, yeah. No,
So
I have a
you,
beautiful Finnish woman that I'm happy with. So, yeah.
so you're going to be on tour in November in Europe.
Oh no,
Who's the support
although
band?
a lot of people when I met her, they think that I met her in Finland, but I didn't. I met her here in America at a happy hour. She just happened to be from Finland. But the conversation started with European stuff, and that's how we had interest in each other. I mean, it wasn't. She's not really into metal at all, but she did take me to my first opera, my first classical symphony. She said that's what she's into. But I think that when she went to the first Hellstar show is when she said, you're not a metal band. You're a symphony with guitars and killer vocals. Because she heard she's got a good ear for music and she could hear all that. And so when you go to especially the Russian symphonies. You know, yeah. It's like I start singing and I'm like, she's like, shut up, you can't do that in here. Oh, I'm sorry.
So who are you going to have on tour with you then in Europe? Have you got a support band yet? Are you any?
They're thinking about one from America, but I'm not sure. And I think it might just be local support in every town, which I think is probably easier. And it's because it's not really a long run. It's a very condensed run. It starts in Greece for 3 shows. Then we fly to Slovenia, and our first show is there. Then from there to Italy. Then from Italy to Bochum, Germany. And then from Bochum to Diest, Belgium. Then from Diest to Munich. And then Munich to Stuttgart. And then from Stuttgart, we fly to Spain for 4 shows.
Right. I've never been to
It's
Greece.
going to be a cool tour. I mean,
I've
it's
never
different.
been to Greece, so take me with you, man.
Yeah,
Never
dude,
been.
they have some good gyros.
Oh yeah, man. So I want to thank you, James, for doing this interview. Do you have anything to say to the people watching this on YouTube?
I hope so. Yeah. But anyways, Jason, you know what? It's always good to talk to you, my friend.
Likewise,
I
my
love
friend.
you. You've been a good friend forever, and I really mean this. You look great, man.
Thank you.
I mean, you got a baby butt's face. What the hell happened?
Thank you, James. Take care, brother. Have a fantastic day, and I'll send you this link when it's online.
Okay. Thank you,
Say
sir.
hello to the guys for me.
You will. I will.
Cheers,
Take care,
brother.
buddy.
New album's
Bye-bye.
fucking rocking. Thanks, brother. Bye.
Love you, man. Take
You
care.
too, brother. And you. Thank you. Greetings. Thanks for watching the Friday 13th interview with James Rivera. I hope you enjoyed it. So please leave some comments, please share, and please support Friday 13th YouTube channel. I want to thank James for doing this interview and also Massacre Records for setting up the interview. So enjoy Metalheads. More interviews coming soon. Thanks for watching.